Even though it's cold outside, you can still enjoy the beauty of your garden. There is also a lot to do, depending on the weather: a frosty, snowy or slightly warmer winter. Plant winter vegetables. Just because the weather has turned cold doesn't mean you can't still grow plants and bring them to the table. Many vegetables, such as kale, Brussels sprouts and cabbage, actually taste better when exposed to frost. Feed the wildlife. Although the leaves of many plants die off in winter, the garden is still teeming with life. Attract winter wildlife to your property by placing feeders of seeds and suet for birds and dried corn cobs for squirrels. Plant evergreen plants. Evergreen plants that already grow in pots can be planted at any time of the year, as soon as the temperature is above 0 degrees Celsius. Fall is the best time to plant shrubs and trees, and if you choose evergreens such as holly, juniper, pine, cedar, and fir, you'll beautifying your garden all year round, but especially in winter when color is at a premium. Cultivate your winter garden. When you're in the middle of the growing season, it's hard to stop and tidy up your garden shed or sharpen your lawnmower blades. Take advantage of the downtime that winter brings and tackle some of the maintenance tasks you simply can't tackle when the weather is nicer. It's great satisfaction to enter spring fully prepared. Start planning your garden. Think about where you will plant new bushes and what vegetables you will sow. There is nothing more exciting for a gardener than the appearance of the first seed catalog in late winter. It's time to start dreaming and planning what we want to plant in the coming season. Start planning your garden spaces and order seeds and summer bulbs. Trim bushes and trees. Winter pruning. Avid gardeners know that it's not just what you see in the garden that makes it rewarding, but also what you can do. Garden activity definitely decreases in the colder months, but you can still get out and have fun pruning fruit trees, vines, deciduous shrubs, and ornamental trees. Check when it is best to prune a given species before you start this activity. Brighten up your garden. Winter days mean darkness sets in earlier. Add some sparkle to your garden in winter with some icy lights. It's a simple, affordable, and eye-catching design. The combination of light and snow looks spectacular. Choose winter beds and inspects. Get to know winter-resistant container plants and those that perform well in the field. Ground hardened by frost is not easy to plant. However, if you can't wait, you can always prepare a beautiful container that you can place on your porch, patio, or yard. Plants such as wintergreen, carox, Skimmia rubella, ajaga, and hardy sedum are good choices for winter containers. Use berry bushes for color. When choosing plants and shrubs for gardening, remember all 4 seasons. Shrubs such as winterberry, nandina, fireberry, and American blueberry not only bring plenty of colorful berries to your garden in winter, but also provide food for birds and other animals that are also beautiful to look at. Learn to save seed heads and grass plumes. Many ornamental grasses and other plants have interesting seed heads that, if you avoid cutting them down, will add dimension to your winter landscape. They will also provide food for birds and other wildlife, adding another layer of interest to your yard. Decorate your garden with winter accents. Add wreaths, lawn ornaments, and new planters to your winter landscape to add a little sparkle on those cold winter days and dark winter nights. Choose plants with a colorful structure or winter flowers. Winter can also bloom. Many shrubs and trees have colorful branches, textured bark, or winter flowers, all of which provide plenty of off-season interest in your garden. Check what plants or shrubs bloom in December and January. It could be witch hazel, viburnum, dogwood, early cold flower, daphne. Plant bare root plants, especially winter bare root plants when the weather permits and the ground is thawed. Winter is an excellent time to plant bare root trees and shrubs. These plants have the advantage of being dormant during transport and digging, and their roots take root in the ground before awakening in spring. They will quickly begin spreading their roots into the warming soil. Light up the night with lanterns. Brighten up those long dark winter nights with decorative lighting. Whether you use string lights, lanterns, or low-voltage lamps, they will cast a warm glow over a cold landscape. Buy an outdoor heater. You can still have fun outside in the winter if you get an outdoor heater. Significant patio heaters, powered by propane or butane, can be purchased for a few $100s. They provide warmth that keeps you cozy on cool nights under the stars. Make winter compost. Winter composting. While composting requires heat to facilitate the rotting process, a well-built compost pile can generate its own heat, even in winter. Add some insulation, such as flattened cardboard, to the top and cover with a tarp to prevent it from getting too wet. Turning it more often to allow air into it will also help break down the winter compost more quickly. Do this systematically and you will be collecting black gold by spring. Get a heated bird bath. In winter, when the water is frozen, this can be a problem for birds. Watching wildlife in your backyard is a great winter activity. Go a step further than providing a bird feeder by providing birds with water to drink and bathe. Then sit back with a cup of warm cocoa and enjoy the show. Install a weather station. Installing a home weather station will not only help you take care of your garden during the winter, but it will also allow you to track weather patterns that will form the basis of your landscaping plan throughout the year. Once installed, you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. Read some books about gardening. Even though the weather is cold and unpleasant, it's the perfect time to wrap up in a blanket and do some research. Work through your gardening reading list during the winter months to get inspired for the new planting and growing season ahead. Start growing the bulbs on the windowsill. How to grow bulbs inside. You can speed up the season by bringing some garden bulbs indoors in winter. Whether you grow them in water, potting soil, or gravel, a cheerful burst of spring color in mid-February will be a welcome sight. Keep your bulbs growing indoors until the weather warms up and you can plant them outside. They usually recover and eventually bloom again. Keep your garden paths in good condition. There is always some maintenance to do in landscaping, even in the dead of winter. The off-season is the perfect time to maintain paths or create new ones. Replacing broken bricks or repairing edges is a more difficult task both physically and from a time management perspective. If the weather allows it, you can do it in winter. Make a fire pit, a backyard bonfire. Hot cocoa and marshmallows taste even better on a crisp evening under the stars. If you have a fire pit, prepare it for use during the winter months and make the most of your outdoor space during the off-season. If you don't have a fire pit yet, consider purchasing one that you can use in summer. Watch the birds. Winter bird watching. The backyard can be a great training ground for a budding bird watcher. If you have a feeder and a source of fresh water, you can start with daily observations. Be sure to also look at ground level to see birds feeding on fallen seeds. Get a book about birds to learn how to recognize them and start learning about their characteristics and behaviors. Watching backyard birds is a hobby truly open to everyone, regardless of age, mobility, and garden size. Move trees and shrubs. It is best to repot large shrubs and small trees when they are dormant during the winter months. Don't be afraid to dig after the last leaf has fallen, before the ground freezes. These plants will have plenty of time to settle and become accustomed to the new soil before the spring thaws arrive. Eliminate invasive species. As the summer blooms fade and the leaves fall, it will be easier to see the structure of the landscape. Undesirable and invasive species will be more vulnerable and easier to remove and eradicate. Taking the time to do this in the winter will pay off when the new growing season begins.